Hi everyone, this is Sheila Peters and we're about to do a stretch body awareness class. Today we're going to start working with an exercise, an energy medicine exercise from Donna Eden called Connecting Heaven and Earth to bring in yang energy and bring in yin energy. All right, so step away from your mat a little bit and put your feet underneath your hips in a parallel position. Rub your hands together. Release them and sort of create a little energy ball, and then bring that energy and put it onto your thighs. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine that where your hands are on your thighs, you're pushing down towards the center of the earth. You're going to go down through whatever building you're in, all the way down through the cellar, into the dirt, into maybe there's pockets of water, big, huge rocks interspersed with soil, and just keep going farther down with those roots. Down, 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 until you get to the mantle that is surrounding the core of the earth. And the core of the earth is some molten lava. And so your roots are going in and connecting up with that lava, that heart of the earth, of the planet, and bringing that yin energy now up through the root system that you created, up through the mantle, the rocks, the dirt, up through the building, into the bottom of your feet, and feel that energy moving up towards the legs, up into your body, maybe hitting your hands and going beyond, up through your head. From here, we're going to open our eyes up. We're going to bring our arms to the side, take a deep breath in, bring our hands together, and then bring them to our heart chakra. From here, we're going to bend our knees, inhale. Now we're going to hold this breath as we stretch one arm up and one down. So you're holding that breath and feeling the up and down motion of the arms going in different directions. And then exhale. Repeat, inhale. Other side, reach up and down. Yin and yang energies connecting up. Good. And exhale. And let's take that once more. So from here, inhale. Exhale, reach, lifting up and down. Up and down. And you could look up and you could look down if you wanted to make sure that connection is really happening. Exhale. And we take it one more time. Inhale. Hold and look down or up, whatever is your preference. Reaching away and connecting to both the earth and the sky. Good, and release. From here, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. I'm bending over from the hips, putting my hands flat on the floor, head drops. We're going to take 2 deep breaths in, nose. Exhale. Repeat, in, nose. And exhale. Lifting the hands up so they're parallel to the floor. We're going to make some figure eights with our hands and allow our body to sway with that. And again, let's take 2 deep breaths. So we're going to breathe in through our nose and exhale. Repeat, inhale and exhale. Excellent. Come to the end of that, flip your hands towards you, and now drop into the floor. You're going to bring one hand behind the other, and you're rolling the yin energy up towards you. You don't want it to go in the opposite direction. You want to make it come towards you. So you're filling your body with that yin energy. Excellent. Come all the way up, as high as you can go. And then you're going to take the backs of the hands and put them together. I'm turning so you can see it now from this angle. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, pull the yang energy down. So you have a constant flow of yang energy coming down and yin energy coming up and down to feed you. Keep those energies moving for you. Okay, let's come back and now go into our regular exercise portion. Now that particular exercise, the Connecting Heaven and Earth, is also really fabulous for preventing or helping to create peace from any kind of arthritic pain that you might have in your body. So we're going to work with joints. We're going to have a parallel position. I'm going to the diagonal so you can see what I'm doing more. We're going to take our shoulder going forward, lift, back, and down. Repeat, front, lift, back, and down. 2 more. Pushing it forward. So you're really trying to make a big circle, and your head's going to want to follow. Good. And front, lift, back, and down. Now folding onto the fingers onto the shoulder there. We're going to bend our knees and push the elbow out. And this time I really want you to allow the upper body to follow that elbow as well as the head. So we're going to the front. And you're going to notice that you're getting some stretches in other parts of your body, in your hips maybe, legs. But we're really making the elbow circle be the focus here. Up and around, so we're opening up that upper chest to shoulder area. And here's our last one. Forward, breathing up. Good. Arc to the back and down. Now extend that arm, and now we're going to transfer our gaze to our fingers. And so we're making this circle even bigger. And we're going to accommodate that by letting our bottom part of our body, our legs, move. But we're still trying to keep our hips more or less facing towards the front, even though they will move, and I want you to let them move, but they're not going in a super twisted position. Here we have drape, reach, follow that hand, lift it up, arc to the back. Good, and we have one more. Let the head drop, reach forward, lift up, arc to the back. Good, and come down. Now we're going to fold from the hips and drop down with your upper body going forward. And you're going to find that you probably feel a little bit more ease on this side that we worked on. But let's just shake our heads no. And shake our heads yes. Again, shake the heads no. And shake the heads yes. Excellent. We're going to roll up through the spine by engaging the core, the abdominals, and get some opening in that spine. Good. Shimmy that out a little bit. And you'll probably feel like this side feels a little bit looser than the one we haven't worked with. So let's go to the other side. Feet are underneath you in a parallel position. Shoulder goes forward. Lift to the back and down. Front, lift, back and down. 2 more. Go to the front. Lift, circling to the back. Drop that shoulder down. And last one. Front, lift to the back. And down. Now we're folding that hand onto the shoulder, transferring our gaze to that elbow, and we're going to let ourselves bend our knees to help us get into that circle, reaching up. Arc to the back. Good. And down. Circle to the front. Way up high. Arc it to the back. Allow the knees bend. And down. The knees go out over the toes. Push forward. Good. Lift it up. Way up there. Maybe you get a little bit more extension and a little expansion in this circle. And last one. Lift up. Arc it to the back. Excellent. And down. Now let's unfold the arm and put our focus now on those fingers as we circle. Way up. Arc it to the back. Allow the movement to sort of take on a life of its own. Making this big circle. And then by making this big circle, arcing back, you're opening up parts of your body so that they become looser and you've got more of your chi moving through. Lift up, arc to the back. Let's take one more. Here we go. And drop down, stretch, lift, up, arcing to the back. Good. And coming down. And once again, we're folding from the hips, knees are bent. Drop that head down. Now let's twist our head from one direction to the other. So we're turning our heads towards the front and then letting them rotate to the back. Again, twist and rotate front to the back. 2 more. Let the head be nice and loose, shoulders are loose, front and to the back. Good. Last time. And twist. And rotate to the back. Good, come back to neutral. Engage the abdominals, rolling up through the spine. The second time, might feel like you got a little more opening in between the vertebra. And come upright. Excellent. Good. Let's face front. Let's take a wider parallel position and just take some figure eights with our arms, allowing our knees gradually to bend and sway. So we're going to bend, lift up and around. Bend, and up. Maybe now we push over to the side, that we're doing those figure eights with those knees. And swing up around, swing up around. Once more, swing up around, and swing up and around. Good, coming up. Let's twist upper body. So we're just opening up as best we can in very gentle ways here. Let's take one more in each direction. Good. Now from here, we're going to reach and push off with this toe. So we're reaching across to the diagonal. Good. From here, we're going to drop all the way down and drop. And push off, stretch, reach, bend down, head hangs. Third one, reach, push, good, and drop down. And let's take that one more time. Lift it up, good, and drop it down. Now we're going to come up and go to the other side. So foot comes off, reach, with this arm, crossing it over, and drop down. And cross, push, and reach. So it's a twist, good, and drop down. Lift it, twist it, and come down. Here's our last one. Pushing off with that foot, reach, good, and drop down. Good, let's bring both knees bent and our bodies to the center here. And we're really making sure that we've got our fold happening from the hips, heads loose. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to straighten both legs. So here's our first work on the hamstrings. Heads are down. Bend the knees down. Inhale. Exhale. Press up with those hips. Drop the heads down. Two more. Bend. Inhale. Exhale. And straighten. Beautiful. And here we go. Bend. And straighten. Now, keeping the legs straight, trying not to rock back on the heels, let's walk our hands over to the right. And if you feel like you need to bend your knees some, that's fine. So we're opening up the side body while we're getting a bit more of a stretch on that right hamstring. Head is loose. And then walk again, trying to really keep the head low. So we're just easing into this stretch here. Side body and hamstring. Good. Shake the head out so it's loose and shimmy the shoulders a bit. Let's take that once more. So we're going over to the right. You may find the second time you can get your hands a little bit farther across beyond that foot to increase the stretch in the hamstring and the side body. And then walk the hands over to the other side, reaching out, drop the head down. Feel the fold in the hips, lengthening through the hamstring and the side body. Good. Come back to neutral position and just hang. You may feel like you can get a little farther over than you did when you started. And let's roll up without bending our knees. So we're going to roll up through the spine. If your knees had been bent, you're going to try and straighten them at some point. So you're really working through that spine. Good. And shake out. Good. All right. Feet back into a parallel position. Let's lift our shoulders up and down. And lift, and down. Repeat, up, and down, and lift, and down. Now, without making your shoulders go up, we're going to make the shoulders go to the front and back. And you're going to notice this is really affecting the shoulder blades. The shoulder blades open, and they squeeze together. And open up, and squeeze together. And let's take that once more. And coming to the front with those shoulders, good. And going to the back. And then just release and shimmy that out. Let's lift the shoulders up. We're going to twist above the waist and then drop the shoulders down, looking over to the right. Lift, twist, and drop. Repeat. Lift up and drop. And lift up and drop. We're going to take that now in a series, so we're going to go up a little faster, down, and up. And down. Good. Lift. Now we're going to stay here and make that back shoulder go front and back. Other side. Lift up and drop and lift and drop and lift up. To the left side, shoulder goes front and back. Repeat. Lift up. Upper body's getting some work. Lift as well as the shoulders. And up and stay here. Shoulder front and back. Last set. Up and shift and lift and shift, and lift up, and shift. Shoulder goes to the front and back. Good. Bring everything to the front. Let's just bend the knees and ease out a little bit. This should really have helped to open up this upper chest, shoulder area. Hands on the hips. We're going to make the ribs go to the side and side. Reach it out and out. 2 more. Out to the side and side. Excellent. Out and out. Let's go front and back. Front and back. And front and back. So rib cage removing. Front and back. Good. Front and back. Let's take some figure eight. So we're going to go front, circling around to the side on the right, all the way to the back, and then push through to the front. Now we go to the other side, for the other part of that figure eight shape. Back, repeat. Front, circle around to the back, coming through, circling around, and to the back. 2 more sets. Front, circle around to the back, and front, circle it around to the back. Last time, here we go. Way forward, circling around to the back. Good. And front, circle around and to the back. Excellent. Come up to the neutral position. Let's open our legs up. And now we're going to take a similar thing with our hips. So our knees are bent. We're going to swing the hips to the side and side. Push them out, side and side. 2 more sets. Push out and out, and to the right and to the left. Let's come back to neutral and do front and back. So we're opening up through the hip flexors here, and push back and front and back. So your knees are soft. Front and back and front and back. Come back up to a little bit closer with your feet, and let's bend your knees, and we're going to just make the hip go up 4 times. So here we go. Hip up, center, up, center, up, center, up. Let's take it to the other side, and up, center, up, center. Tilt it up, and center, and up. Now we're going to tilt the hip down, so we're tilting it down, and center. Right down, and center. Drop it down, and center, and down. Other side, drop it down, and center. Drop it down, and center. Keep going down, and center, and down, and center. Good. Straighten up, shake out a little bit. Let's go back into that wider parallel position, and now we're going to take some figure eights. So we're first going to take them on a flat plane, and then we'll take them up in a vertical plane there. So knees bent, we're going to the front. Carry the hips to the side, going to the back. Push through, and carrying over to the other side, circling. Now you notice as you do this, your lower back is going to get some action happening, because of course the hips are connected to the lower back. And push forward, circle all the way around. Good. And coming to the front, circling around. Excellent. You might even start to feel some action happening in the inside thighs as you go around. And here's our last one in this direction. Front, circle all the way to the back. Repeat. Front, trying to make a big circle all the way around. Good, to the back, and come to neutral position and straighten up. Okay, here we're going to take the vertical figure eights. So again, you can allow your knees to bend, but make sure they go over the toes. So we're lifting up, bending the knees, coming down, and then coming back up. Lift to the other side, come down, push through the center, and lift up. Circle around, down, and come up, and out. Drop. Down. 2 more sets. Lifting it up. Circle. Drop down. And come up. And reach out. Drop. Down. Let's take 1 more. Lift. Up. Circle. Drop down. And up. And reach it out. Circle. Drop it down. And come up. Right. Good. Maybe you found some new places to open up in those hips there. Okay, let's take a wide position. Let's do a little work with our feet and ankles. We're going to flex the foot up on the right and then drop down and shift and up. Now let's exaggerate a little bit and allow the hips to work away from it. So we're getting more of an inside thigh stretch as we work through those ankles. Reach. Let's take that again. Push, exaggerate, way out. Good. Come down, shift, and push it out. And last time. Reach, push. Let's stay there for a moment. Really feel the hip reaching out, the toe coming up. What happens to the inside thigh? Upper body is on an angle there to counterbalance. Shift, push, and we're going to hold, really feeling that stretch in all those many different places that you may be feeling them. Okay, and come back up to neutral position. Let's just bend this knee out and straighten. Shift to the other side, bend and straighten. Push the knee out, trying to keep the hips open and lift. So we're getting some work in the knee joint and the ankle, but you also may be feeling that in the inside thigh if you really maintain the rotation. And up, and let's take one more. Bend and straight. And last one, bend and straight. Good. We're going to bend over to the right, put the hand down on the thigh, and reach this other arm up and over and feel the heel of this long leg press down to the floor and the hand reach up to the diagonal. So we're getting a little bit more of a stretch through that side line. And come up and over, and when we move over to the other side, so we're feeling the heel of the long leg, stretch to the floor, and the hand up. Reach up and over. So we're shifting weight too. So some of you may feel like there's a little bit of a balance challenge there, but it's not a super hard one. Reach. Okay, we're going to take two more. Reach it out, drop, and stretch way out there. See if you can extend that arm out even more. Up and over, and extend it, lengthening through that side body. Good. And last time, up, over, and extend. You can see me reaching a little bit more on that diagonal line. Good. And up, over, reach, and extend. Beautiful. And come up right. Now we're going to take a variation, going back over here, feeling that extension, and from here, deep breath in. We're going to now push and straighten that leg and let the hip go out more to the side. You feel more of the side body stretch. Bend that knee again. Inhale. Exhale. Press. Way out there. Good. Two more. Bend. Inhale. Exhale. And stretch. One line. And last time. Bend. Inhale. Good. And stretch and go over to the side. Maybe you can get a little farther over to the side, beyond the diagonal. And up and over. And let's take it to the other side. Hand reaching, establish your position. Inhale and exhale and press that hip out. Feel the length through the arm as well. And bend, inhale. And exhale and stretch. We have two more. Here we go. Bend the knee, shoulders down, and extend, feeling the length. Maybe get more over to the side with that arm. And last time. Bend, inhale, exhale, and lengthen way out there. Excellent. And come upright. Good. Let's just shake out a bit. We're going to go back into that open position. So here we are. Legs are rotated. In fact, go a little farther out than you were before. And let's bring our arms up to our chest. We're going to slide our hands out as we bend both knees and bring the hands to the knees there. So we're pressing and extending and opening up in the inside thigh. And lift and come upright. Breathe, slide, stretch, open. Good. Lift and come upright. Two more. Press it, bend, stretch, and out. Good. Lift and come upright. Last time. Bend, press, and lengthen. Now we're going to stay in this position. If you need to release and stand up for a moment, you can do that. But we're going to swing our hips back. And now we're swinging our hips forward as we're pressing our knees back to open up the inside thigh a little bit more. Repeat. Back, swing, and front. Make sure those knees stay out over the toes. Keep the shoulders down. And swing back. Good. Press and open. Beautiful. And swing to the back. And press and open. Excellent. Let's drop our hands down, hips go up, and here we are once again in this open position. Our legs are a little farther apart than we did it the first time. And allow the body to drop right from the hips there. So the last time we did that, we had our feet in a parallel position. Now our legs are in a rotated position. So let's repeat what we did with the parallel position. Bending the knees. Inhale, knees go out over the toes. Exhale, press the hips up and stay down. Second one, bend. Inhale. Exhale and lengthen. Where are you feeling this stretch? Two more. Bend. Inhale. Exhale. Push those hips up. Drop the heads down. Feel the crease in the hips. That's where you're folding from. And last time. Bend. Inhale. Good. And exhale. And straighten. Now this time we're going to walk our hands over to the left side and see how far you can get. Maybe you can't quite get the hands beyond that foot. But again, we're getting into more of a stretch on this left hamstring. And you'll feel this in your spine and your side body as well. Head is loose. Keep breathing. Then walk the hands over to the other side. Trying to get the hands beyond the foot. Head is dropped, shoulders are relaxed, elbows are bent. Increasing the stretch in the right hamstring. Shake that head out, shoulders. Really let everything fold and lengthen. Let's take it once more over to the left. Here we go. Walking those hands over, heads are down. Maybe you can drop your head a little bit closer to the leg to increase that stretch. And you are breathing, and we're walking over to the other side. Here we go. Heads are down. Shoulders loose. Dropping the head close to the leg as best you can. Excellent. Good. And then come back to center. Let's fold our weight over to the left side so the right leg is going to be long. We're walking our bodies over. The left heel will lift up and your body comes up right here. And we can flex out through the foot. So we're getting into a ball of foot and point. And repeat that while we're stretching the inside thigh. Push through and point. Two more. Lift it up. Push through and point. And lift it up. Push through and point. Now we're going to walk over by bending the knees to the other side, lifting the right heel up, foot points on the left, and we have flex. Push through and point. Repeat, flex it up. Push through and point. Two more, flex it up. Push through and point, excellent. And flex it up. And push through and point. Good. We're going to sit down however you can and come into a center position with your legs. Sitting up nice and tall. The divine flesh is out from underneath you here. And let's open the legs up a little bit so we have a slight diagonal there. Backs are straight. We're going to flex out through the heels. Push through point. Now we're going to make our toes come up and flex. Balls of the feet and point. Toes come up and flex. Two more. Balls of the feet and point. And toes come up, flex. Last time. Balls of the feet and point. And toes come up and flex. Rotating the legs in, crossing one leg in front of the other so you can really feel this in the hip joints. Rotate out. Repeat. Crossing the other foot in front. Good. And out. First foot goes in front. and out. And second foot comes in front. Good. And out. Good. Shake that out. Now we're going to open it up into a warrior position. You're more on a diagonal there. Again, get the divine flesh out from underneath you. We're going to flex the feet and take circles in this rotated position. So we're working through the feet, but you're allowing the hips to do some motion there too. So your hips will reflect what's happening with those feet. Circling, and here we have the third one all the way around, getting into those ankles, and circle, and around. Let's reverse that, and to the back, and around, and to the back. Excellent. And around. Two more. And circle to the back, and around. Good. And out and around. And. Okay, shake those feet out. Let's bend the knees from this position, and we're going to drop our right knee down to the floor, keeping our left as an anchor up to the ceiling. Lift it up, and still keeping the left as anchor, or opening up in the inside thigh there. Up and over. Good. Lift and out. Two more. Up and over. Good. Lift and out. Last time. Up and over. Good. Lift and out. Come back to neutral. Let's just shoot the legs out, flex the feet, and sit up tall, and see if you can feel any difference from this hip area, this leg, and the one we haven't done that exercise with. Let's go back up and take it to the left. Keep the back straight, dropping that left knee down. And you may find that one side feels either more easily bent, or it might be a little bit more challenging opening out. Really stretching that whole rotating hip area up and out. Excellent. Coming up and rotate. Excellent. Come up and open. Good. Shoot those legs out, flex them, sit up tall, and just notice how that feels. Let's push out with the right hip, out to the diagonal. And then shift and push with the left hip out. And push and shift. It's not a huge motion. It's a little subtle, but you're going to feel the stretch that you get that in that high inside thigh area. Repeat, push it out. You may find that your upper body is going to twist with you. Shift and change. Good. Repeat one last time. Push it out. And push it out. Good. Come back to neutral. Let's bring the legs together on this diagonal line. Folding the right leg underneath. We're going to now cross the left leg on top and try and get our knees to line up. So you might not be able to feel that completely lined up there, but that's what we're aiming for. This top hip on the left side might lift a little bit off the floor, but we're really maintaining the right hip on the floor as best we can, and we're also trying to really keep the left hip as far down to the floor as we can. Hands go on the front knee, backs are straight. We're going to work with our lower backs with our legs in this position. So we're taking a lower back curve, our cat position, so we're engaging the abdominals, pushing that lower back out, and you're going to feel stuff in your hips. And then we're pushing through and rolling back up through a cow-like position. Let's take three more. So we're rolling back, stretching out that lower back, feeling what we're feeling in those hips. Roll through and come up right, shoulders are down. Allow the lower back to move to the back of the room, engaging the abdominals. And push through, lifting up, and our last one. Roll it, push it to the back. How far back can you get? And then roll through and come up. Good, come back to a neutral position if you need to, or maybe you can. Fold a little bit more, make that adjustment there. Keeping the back straight. Arms go in front of us. We're going to roll down with the chin. Upper body. Now we're going to angle ourselves towards the lower part of this front leg, towards the foot, and drop over and down, trying to keep our right hip on the floor, but also our left hip as far close to the floor as we can. As I said before, it might lift slightly off the floor. You should be feeling a stretch in a bunch of different places. And we're going to take 4 deep breaths. Here we go. Inhale. And exhale, inch the hands out. Your head will go to the side of your lower leg there. Again, breath in. Exhale, folding from the hips, reaching the hands out, increasing the stretch that you're going to be feeling, particularly in that top glute area, top leg glute area. Again, deep breath in. Exhale, reach. Extend the motion if you can with your hands to increase the stretch. You're folding from the crease in the front of the hips there. And last time, deep breath in. Exhale and reach. Letting the head be loose. Really opening up in the glutes, in the thighs, in the lower spine. And then walk the hands up to realign that spine. Head's the last thing that comes up. And let's help the legs to unfold. And just bring them out in front. And notice how this hip feels into the floor compared to the one that we haven't worked with too. So here we go. We're going to go to the other side, folding the left, crossing the right over. And you might find that one side that the knees do cross and line up a little bit more. Again, this right leg, that hip might not be as close to the floor as the left one. So let's take the whole rolling through the spine series. Backs are straight. And engage the abdominals and get that lower back going to the back of the room. And you notice that you get a very interesting stretch in the hip area. And push through, undulate into your cow and up. 3 more. Rolling to the back. Shoulders are down, really engaging the abdominals to get that lower back working. Push through, lift, and come up. Right, we have 2 more. Roll it. Really stretching out. Good. Push through, arcing through, and up. Last time. Going into your cat. Shoulders are down, breathing. And then push through, and roll up. Good. Come back to your neutral position. Maybe realign your position with your legs. Sitting up tall, let's take that forward fold. Heads drop. Upper body curves over. We're folding from the hips. Again, one side might feel different than the other side. Your head is going to angle towards the front foot there. 4 deep breaths. Here we go. Inhale. And exhale and reach. You may find that top hip is coming off the floor some, but try and maintain it down. The other hip stays on the floor. Deep breath in. Exhale and lengthen. Reaching hands out a little bit more. Trying to fold a little bit more to increase the stretch. 2 more. Deep breath in. Exhale and reach. Heads are loose. And last time. Deep breath in. Exhale and reach those fingers out a little bit more. Elbows are down, heads are loose, shoulders are relaxed. Feeling the stretch increase. Good. Walking the hands back as you realign the spine. Coming all the way up. Head's the last thing that comes up. And again, help those legs to unfold. And just notice how those hips feel. They should be more evened out and a little bit more into the floor. You might even feel like you can sit up a little bit more easily. Let's just rock side to side to sort of integrate through with what we just did in those hips, which was quite intense. Good. All righty. Okay, so let's sit back a little bit, bring our feet together, sitting up tall. And you may find, because of the work we've done, you already have a fairly wide position in those legs. Let's increase that a little bit. So folding your right hand over. Actually, that's your left hand. Arms up. And we're going to take a lift up. Bring the hand down into the crease of the hip there and slide that hand out along the thigh. So we're really pushing the leg to increase that stretch in the inside thigh. Repeat, lift up, hand, push, slide, and open. Excellent. Let's take 2 more, arms up, push in, and really push down and out, sort of smoothing the muscle fibers out and helping them to elongate. And last time, lift up, inhale, and push and slide. Good, come back to the center, back straight. Just notice how much looser that knee and hip and thigh feel. Let's take it to the other side, crossing the hand, arms up. Inhale, growing tall, heel of the hand against the crook of the hip there, and then push out and slide, encouraging the muscles to relax and to open up. Second time, inhale, push and slide, reaching out. Good. Here's our third time, breathing in, hand, slide it out. Remember, we're talking about trying to smooth the muscle fibers out so that they can elongate. And last time, breathing in, exhale, and slide out. Good. And then check with yourself. Does that leg feel a little bit looser too? You may find that you've really achieved quite an open position there. Excellent. Let's close up. And we're going to shoot the legs out to the side now to use that openness that we created. Getting the divine flesh out from underneath us. So really keeping that back straight. And we're going to just work with the feet and the knees. So hands going to be in front. Bend the knees slightly as you lift the toes up. We're not sliding the heels on the floor. And then push out and point. Repeat. Lift up. So we're increasing and working on building on that openness in the thighs here by doing this exercise. Lift up. Good. Push through and point. And last time. Lift it up. Push through and point. So you may feel like you're really opened up in those hips a little bit more. Let's just rock through them, using that out a bit. Good. All right, we're going to take a forward fold. So backs are straight. Again, rolling the head, shoulders, upper body coming forward, walking the hands forward, and you're feeling like you're folding from the hips. Go to the place that works for you. Notice how the inside thighs feel. Let's take 4 deep breaths, trying to lower our bodies a little bit more onto the floor each time. Breath in. Exhale, reach out. Again, breath in. Exhale and reach. Third time, inhale. Exhale and reach. Heads go down. And last time, inhale. Exhale and reach. Now we're going to hold this position for a bit. Enjoy the opening that's happening there. We're going to flex our feet and do a similar thing that we did before, but now we're in this very wide position. We're going to push out with that right heel. Trying to send that leg out to the side a little bit more. And then push out with the left. So we're opening up the inside thighs a little bit more. Let's repeat that. Use your breath. Deep breath in. Exhale, push out with the right, and you might feel like you're hardly moving, but you can feel that intensity in the inside thigh. Let's take it to the other side. Breath in. Exhale, push out with the left. And just allow the body to lower down as best you can, taking advantage of this deep opening in the inside thighs. Okay, rolling up, keeping the heels flexed. We're going to roll up through the spine and come to an upright position. You should really be feeling that openness that's happened there. Let's help the legs to come together and shake them out a little bit. We're going to bend our left leg underneath and our right leg in front, making that triangle shape from knee to knee to derriere. Backs are straight, divine flesh is out. We're going to now stretch through the hamstring as well as the inside thigh in a different stretch. So we're going to take this right hand. You can either fold that hand underneath the hip there, underneath the heel there, or you can make your hand go to the front there. First time, we're going to stretch the leg out to the side to increase and take advantage of the stretch that we just did in the inside thigh. So backs are straight, deep breath in. As we exhale, we're bending that knee towards the armpit and reaching that leg out. Back stays straight. You can stabilize yourself with that hand there. So we are pulling that leg behind, which will take advantage of the inside thigh stretch, but start to work in that hamstring area. Bend the knee, bring it down, and release. Taking again a deep breath in. Exhale. Push the knee behind, and then extend from there, keeping the back straight. Reach. Good. Bend the knee, and then coming back down to your resting position. Third time, inhale. Bring that knee behind you, stretch it out, lengthen. How far back can you bring that leg? Now we're going to stay here for a moment and flex out through the heel. Really feeling all the feels there in that leg. Push through the ball of foot, point, and come back down and in, sitting up tall. Good. Let's switch legs and take it to your side. Backs are straight, divine flesh is out from underneath. Decide how you're going to hold on to that foot. Other hand can be on the knee. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're pushing that knee behind you. And this first time, be easy. Feel the stretch. Feel where you're getting this impact on the leg. Inside thigh, maybe. Hamstrings. Maybe both. And open up that knee. Drop. And let it lower and come to the rest. Second time, deep breath in. Exhale, extend, reach, and open. Keep those backs straight. See if you can push that foot, that whole leg back a little bit more. Good. And come in, drop it, and rest. Third time, deep breath in. Exhale, push the knee back. Pushing that leg behind you as far as you can. We're going to hold this position. Try to increase that stretch a bit. And now we're going to flex out through the heel. Pushing that whole leg to the back as your back stays straight. Really increasing the stretch there. Good. Push through the ball of the foot, point, and then come back down. And come to your rest position. Just rock through the hips a bit. Notice what's happening there. And let's bring the legs front. And take a flex. Sitting up tall. And let's just push the hips forward. And shift and forward. Take that a couple of times before we go into the straightforward stretch, which will be more of work on the hamstring. And let's take this once more. Push forward. Good. And out. Excellent. Beat those legs out. Okay, we're coming back to that triangular shape. We've got the right leg in front. Divine flesh is out from underneath us. You might, as you take this stretch to the front, we're going towards our face. In a rotated position, you might want to change how you hold that foot. So I'm switching and bringing my hand around to the back of that heel there. Other hand goes on the hip, on the knee. Deep breath in. Now, we're keeping the leg rotated out as we straighten, and we're bringing that leg in front of our face. So you can see and feel how that stretch is happening more on the hamstring. Trying to get the leg as close as we can towards our body with a straight leg, as straight as we can get. Then open the knee, come back down to your rest position. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Coming in front of your face, the leg is rotated. Maybe you can use the other hand to help bring that leg a little bit closer to you to increase that stretch. And then come back down. And come to your rest position. Third time, deep breath in. Exhale, pulling the leg up. Coming to a straight position. Elbows down on your holding arm. And then you can take the other hand, and bring it to the leg, pulling that leg towards you. Now I'm going to shift my position so I can get into a flex position with my foot. So I'm pushing out, and I'm taking both hands and bringing them into a position where I can increase the stretch by bringing that leg closer to my face. can be quite intense there. In that flex. Good. Push through the ball of foot point and then come back down and come to your rest position. Alrighty, let's go to the other side. We're switching, making sure you've got that triangular shape base for yourself. Backs are straight. Hand comes in, however you want to use it. And now we're lifting and stretching that leg to the front. So it's going in front of your face. You've got a straight leg or as straight a leg as you can. This elbow is bent down on the inside so you can really pull in. Good. And then open the knee and come back to your rest position. Here's our second one. Breath in. Exhale, reach and lengthen. Now I'm going to take the other hand to help bring that leg closer to me to increase that stretch. Lifting it up. Good. And come down and come to your rest position last time. Here we go. Breath in. Exhale, extend it. Bring that leg close to you, as close as you can. You can have help with the other arm. The elbows are bent down so the shoulders are down. You're feeling that stretch in the back of this leg in this rotated position. Shift the hands if you'd like to, and then we're going into a flex and trying to pull that leg closest to us, closer to us, so we're getting an increased stretch on that hamstring. Good. Now we're going to push through the ball of foot point and allow the leg to come down and straighten up. Okay, bring those legs out in front. Rock through the hips a little bit. Excellent. Okay, you've done a great job with that. Let's take one more stretch where we're working through the whole body to sort of integrate everything we've done. So we're going to go on our hands and knees. And we're going to take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to push the hips forward, walk our hands forward a little bit, and then allow that hip to go down, keeping the upper body upright. So we're opening up the front of the spine here. Then we're going to push back with our derriere. So we're going into a cow position. Roll back, slide the hands, and allow the bodies to go into a child's pose here. Here we go again. Hands reach out, coming up into a cat position with our spines. Hips slide forward, drop down, and lift the shoulders and the head up. Good. Derriere back. Cow. Pushing back. Nice undulation here, just to sort of ease and calm the body down into your child's pose. Using your breath. 2 more. Reaching up. Use that lower spine. Make sure it's going into a nice cat. Push down with the hips. And here we go into a cow. You may find that you've extended your range of motion here. And push back. Breathe. All the way down. It's like we're working through the spine and calming the nervous system down after doing all the work that we just did. Last time, rolling up, rippling up, push through, hips down, arc, lift up, beautiful, and push back, feeling the cow, dropping down, spine down ripples, and you go into your child's pose, letting the hands come forward, and just let everything settle for a moment. Good. Let's walk our hands to the front here. We're going to put that back hand on top of the front hand and keep our hips where they are, just to open up through the side body. Just calming down again through that spine. Walk the hands around, take it to the other side. Front hand now goes on top of the back hand, shoulders are down, hips are down, feeling that side stretch that happens. Keep breathing. Excellent. Let's come back to neutral position. Let's roll up through their spine and come to a sitting up position here. Good. Face front. Once again, let's fold the legs. So we have the right leg in front. And let's just take a side stretch here. So we're reaching the arm out, we've got our elbow down, we're taking advantage of the stretch that we just did. And we're gonna swing to the front, folding from the hips. So you're gonna find that you're getting some action in that lower spine as we move to the other side. And I just want you to be aware of that lower back movement, hips loose, swinging around. So again, we're just sort of calming down that lower spine. Reach around, breathing all the way, good. To the side and last side. Reach it out, around, and coming back to your original side. Good, and lift. Okay, today's class was about trying to open up through the joints and then move into the rest of the muscles and the tendons and ligaments, into the fascia, hoping that you feel longer and taller. Yeah, here we go. Breathing out, hands come up, and coming the hand to the hand clasp to the heart position. And I want you to say thanks to yourself. Our cells hear what we say, so we want to say good things. All right, have a great rest of the day.